Recording in progress.
What's going on, beautiful people? Mars there with Mark 92. It is your host with the most, Mr. Meyer with the fire, here to take the collective vibration higher. We are in the new office, new setup. You might notice something a little different. We out here today, and it's good to see your beautiful face. This is a crazy fucking week, and I'm gonna tell you why. Astrologically speaking, there is a lot going on. Lakshmi and Ganesh say hi. Oh my. So today, the sun is conjunct to Saturn. We're starting a whole new cycle. We've got a lunar eclipse, a total eclipse this week in the sign of Virgo. Mercury's retrograde, Venus is retrograde, Mars is debilitated, Jupiter is debilitated. The whole fucking sky is falling down. We got a bunch of sun aspects, and I'm excited to see your face. So without further ado, let's jump into the charts, and we will start with the degree breakdown, and then I'll talk you through the transitions. Does that sound good? If you guys enjoy this video at any point, please do leave a like, throw a comment in the description. No, you can't do that actually. Put a comment in the comment section. Descriptions for me. But I would love to see how you're doing. How is life treating you? If you are astrologically inclined, let me know what kind of transits you're going through. Houses, aspects. I'd love to know. Okay, let's go. All right, are you guys feeling good today? I'm gonna be honest, guys. When I woke up today, I felt dead on the inside, exhausted. Sun conjunct to Saturn. Like, man, my energy is limited. I'm tweaking off the Celsius, so none of that shit really matters right now. So anyway, today the sun is at 21 degrees of Pisces. How spicy. We've got the moon at 22 Leo as I'm filming this. We've got Mercury direct for the moment at 8 degrees of Aries, conjunct to Venus, which is retrograde, I should add. Mars is at 18 Cancer. You've got Jupiter at 13 Gemini, Saturn at 22 Pisces. Oh, that's spicy again. As far as the outer planets go, my friends, we have Uranus at 23 Taurus, Neptune at 29 Pisces, and Pluto at 3 degrees of Aquarius. And the north node of the moon, very important, is at 27 Pisces, which of course is going to put the south node at 27 Virgo. How cool is that, guys? So let's jump forward 1 week to see what we can expect on the degrees. To me, I feel like this is your metaphysical weather forecast. We put it on blast. It's like, wow, in Ohio, it's 1,000,000 degrees. And you should check on Ohio. But here in, St. Louis is about 70. So that's cool. We're chilling. Birds are singing. There's a cat outside my window. It's a good day. Anyway, the 18th. So this is the week astrology. If you guys haven't put it together yet, Mars Day is Tuesday. So we go Tuesday to Tuesday. We go to the future, and it's going to be great. We create our lives, man. The planets may impel, but they don't compel. Astrology does not cause your life, but it does reflect it, okay? So just know and understand that before we go any further, because I'm going to interrupt myself to really tell you guys, 98% of the people in this world are drifters. They just go from one place to another and just don't really know where they're coming or going. But that 2%, which is you, these people are driven. They're intentional. They manifest their dreams because they can and they will. And they're not asleep at the wheel. So let's fucking go. Proactive people. Yes, we love them. So anyway, a week from now, guys, this is the last week of Pisces. Full week, I should say. So you'll see on the 18th, next Tuesday, and I'll, be here every week. Guys, episode 93 is going to be amazing, so you better subscribe so you don't miss it, because that'd be a shame if you didn't see it, man. But anyway, the sun will be at 28 degrees of Pisces. Let me get my annotations back on. So that's cool. The moon will be waning in Scorpio. So right now the moon is waxing. We're still filling up for the full moon. We're going to have Mercury retrograde at about 8 degrees. So really, Mercury's not making too much motion this week. Venus will move back to about 5 degrees. Mars goes first. Mars goes to 19, almost 20 degrees. Jupiter's at 14. Saturn is at 22, almost 23. Pisces. You've got Uranus at 24, Taurus. Neptune at 29, creeping up towards the 1st degree of Aries. This is going to be the month, guys. I think it's about the 30th where Neptune is actually going to switch into Aries, which is a huge shift, guys. This is probably the most action-packed month of the year, to be clear. So we've got Pluto still at 3 degrees, just creeping along. You know, you guys know the creeping thing, the creature? That's Pluto. Anyway, you've got the North Node and South Node still at 27. But I also want to add, I don't talk about this too terribly much, but Lilith is creeping through the final degrees of Libra. And as she does that, she's going to be making that square to Pluto. So that is worth noting. And before I forget about talking about it, I'll just say, guys, this is the time to feel your feelings, to embrace those dark emotions, embrace that dark divine feminine. In other words, claim your power. Don't yield. Be sovereign. Be supreme. Okay? And sometimes surrender is required in order to be free. Okay? And what I mean, and that's a crazy thought. Sometimes, you know, surrender doesn't equal submission and vice versa. So anyway, let's back that ass up and let's talk about the transitions. So really, if you are seeing what I'm seeing, I'm going to tell you, gang, there is so much water in this chart. Oh my goodness. We have about 7 placements in water. Well, really, my local chart has, you know, the angles in there. So about 5 placements in water. We got our Mars, our Sun, got that Pisces stellium, Sun, Saturn, North Node, Neptune. Oh my goodness, guys. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? There's so much emotion. So good, bad, ugly, or beautiful. The feelings are high right now. So that's beautiful. It's a blessing to be able to feel, guys. And connection really is direction. So, you know, if you close off your heart, you close off yourself to all the good things in life. You know, when you try to numb or suppress pain or sorrow or boredom, you also end up suppressing the joy and the life and the love that this experience has. So let's not do that. Okay. The key word for Pisces is dreams, my friend. And this is kind of a chaotic week, let's just be honest, because the moon is being a fucking drama queen. We've got the moon starting in the waxing phase. We're going to hit that full moon phase on the 13th or the 14th, depending on your time zone. You know, that lunar eclipse is going to peak. So for me, I'm in Central Standard Time. She's going to peak full moon lunar eclipse around, you know, midnight to like 1 in the morning on Thursday night. It's technically Friday if you really think about it. So you can check your local time zone, local geography to see. And, you know, after that full moon, of course, we go into the waning phase. So she's all over the place. She's playing triple goddess this week, which is really cool. So the lunar eclipse in Virgo, I'm going to drop a whole new video about that tomorrow and explain this in depth and go through each and every sign so we can see what's going on more specifically. We'll divine about it as well. But, you know, get your moonstone, get your snacks, re-fucking-lax, and then start releasing, because that's what the full moon is about. Take your time. You know, a lot of people say that the eclipses, not the new moon. The eclipses are not a time to manifest or do your magic. And to me, that sounds kind of scared. Do what thou wilt if it harms none. Me personally, I'm going to be using this energy to manifest my goals. You know, Mark David Meyer is a magician. I got the fire every single day. But at the end of the day, man, this lunation is in Virgo. And if you guys haven't seen, it's worth mentioning that, you know, every time we have a full moon, it's directly opposite the sun. So with this being the season of Pisces, it's all about dreams and mysticism and deep emotions and the universal lens in which you look at life. I saw a bird out the window. Bird up. But Virgo is the exact opposite. Virgo is an earth sign, and it really deals with being specific and focused, procedural, non-emotional, okay? And I think one of the key words for Virgo is schedule. It's our day-to-day routine. So this lunation, among other things, which I'll talk about tomorrow, even in more depth, is about grounding your spiritual practice through everyday habits. And simplicity is key where Virgo happens to be. So consider addition by subtraction. Cleaning is another Virgo phenomenon. So this is one of the best times to start removing things from your life that don't stick. Healing is another Virgo thing. This is a time for us to release the baggage. Clean out your pantry, physically and metaphorically. Check the expiration date on a lot of stuff and make sure that you're not holding on to baggage that's going to slow you down. Your environment is a reflection of the mind. And this is also a Mercury retrograde conversation because Mercury is going to go retrograde right around the time of this eclipse. And we have Mercury retrograde about 3 to 4 times a year, every single year. So don't fear. Me personally, you know, and I don't know if this is me just being ruled by Mercury as a Virgo rising. I love Mercury retrograde personally. And if you're not living under a rock, I'm sure you've heard this before, that Mercury retrograde is a time that's often characterized by miscommunications, travel complications, misunderstandings, technology issues. And that may happen, you know, frankly, with Mercury's pre-shadow period. I've already been seeing a little bit of that, but I look at things as opportunities, not obstacles. Like we talked about just a minute ago, guys, it's about being proactive and not reactive. You can't control if Mercury is going to go retrograde or not. So the question becomes, how can I use this energy? So I know the Celsius got me feeling some type of way, but as far as practical advice for Mercury retrograde, slowing down is one of the best things you can do in terms of communicating more effectively and getting around and traveling better. Planning extra time for contingencies, okay? Organization is really one of the best things you can do with Mercury retrograde. And do understand Mercury rules over the 3rd house and the 6th house, Gemini and Virgo respectively. Perception, Gemini; focus, Virgo. Also technology. So one of the best things you can do, and this goes right hand in hand with that eclipse in Virgo, clean your room, clean your car, clean your phone, delete pictures, delete apps, delete random bullshit that you're holding on to, and create folders, organize things, you know, because your environment is a reflection of your mind. If your environment is needlessly cluttered and restricted, your mind is going to be needlessly cluttered and restricted. And most of us spend, you know, exorbitant amounts of time on our phone or our technology. So it's worth organizing that and making sure all your apps are in the right place and that you have your wallpaper programmed in such a way. Let me give you guys a secret when it comes to Mercury, is that everything outside of you really is for your use. And if you forget that, all these things that you have in your life are going to start to become burdens and frustrations and irritate your ass. So you just have to learn how to direct energy. Do everything with intention, fire family, and you're going to see your intentions manifest way more fluid and easily, and sometimes effortlessly. Really cool. Because I think a lot of us know in this new age community that the universe is alive and conscious and is corresponding to your state of being, your dominant vibrations, and where your attention is, okay? And your dominant reinforced identity. Pardon me, who do you want to be when you grow up? Good question. It's up to you to decide. It's your life, okay? So Mercury retrograde, let's get our shit together. Let's improve our communication style. Let's, you know, free up some RAM, if you get what I'm saying. That's a meta 4, meta 5 if you really think about it. So let's talk about the Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde is about getting your love right. And Venus goes retrograde every other year or so, and it lasts 40 days each time it does, which is really cool. Venus is a very magical cycle, so pay attention to that. We're going to have Venus retro until the 13th of April. So this is an opportunity as well to sort out all the Venus stuff. Love, money, values. Get your shit together yet again. So with Venus in the sign of Aries, and do understand she's going to retrograde back into Pisces, so we'll kind of toggle in between both of these things. It's really about self-love this time, guys. Self-indulgence, putting yourself first, but at the same time, maintaining harmony and balance with the world and those that you care about, not being too selfish to the point where, you know, you dominate others or act out of integrity. That's not right, okay? But this could be a really great time for us to get our money right, to do some accounting, to organize our finances, and just make sure that we're abiding by our values. I like to make y'all think. I hope you like to think, man. I can't do all the thinking for you because we're different people, but like, what are your values? And are you living in accordance to them? That's a really good question just to think about, okay? Over the next 40 days or so. And the cool thing is, man, when you live according to your values, you develop self-assurance and higher self-esteem. And self-esteem is the most priceless jewel you can possess, and frankly, money can't fucking buy it. I'm gonna get dark on you guys for a second, but why do you think some millionaires and billionaires end their own lives? Because money's not everything. It's very important. Don't forget that money is a meaningful tool in this life, but it only solves money problems. And if you don't have self-esteem, you damn near have nothing. Everybody in the world can love you and you can reach the highest heights, but if you don't like yourself, you're pretty much shit out of luck, dude. You're fucked. And it's just as raw and real as I could keep it. So love yourself and just recognize self-love is not a binary, it's a continuum. What do I mean? It's not about, do I love myself, yes or no? Because you absolutely love yourself. That's unquestionable. But it's, to what extent do you love yourself? And where do you love yourself? Because there's different situations and scenarios within your life, you know. For instance, in terms of daily habits, you know, you could be on 100% where you're consistent and you show up every day and you never fail to do the work. But in relationships, for example, you know, you might be over compromising. You might be a people pleaser. And that might be like, you know, 60% self-love, where you care more about what other people think as opposed to what you think. Maybe you're reckless with your finances, and maybe that's not 100% self-love in the realm of finance. You know, I hope the message is clear. Take your love for yourself to a whole new level. Aries is a new beginning, and there's a fucking bird out my window again that look like a falcon, guys. Let's soar to new heights. Let's go. Are you excited? I'm excited. I love you, and you love me, and we're a big happy family, you know, and it's a good day to be alive. And Mars and Jupiter are debilitated as fuck. And that's not a problem. Again, how can we use this? And frankly, this is kind of why 2024 was a little choppy, in my opinion. Like I said, this is an action-packed month, action-packed year. I've been harping on this shit since like the second half of 2024, how cool 2025 is going to be. For instance, we have, you know, Pluto continuing Aquarius, not going back into Capricorn, so that's amazing. North Node going into Pisces, Neptune going into Aries, Uranus touching Gemini, Saturn moving into Aries. So many huge shifts are happening this year. And we're talking about the back half of the solar system, the slower planets. These affect more massive shifts. So that's really cool. I'm freaking jazzed. I hope you're excited. And bro, these birds in the trap, they got me excited. They just wanted to say hi to you. But anyway, Mars is in Cancer, so I'm going to touch on these planets for a second, and then I can spin back to the sun and just kind of remind you guys, this is a cool week, so make the most of it. And the key word, if you take nothing from this video, simplify. Simplify, simplify, simplify is really the message today. Just understand Mars is also in the sign of Cancer, and you're going to really want to study along with these transits with your personal natal chart, because Mars in Cancer will affect everybody differently, just like every other planet will. But the cool thing about Mars is its emotional orientation right now. And at best, that's going to lead you towards your heart's desires. But at worst, you know, it can be highly frustrating, or if you don't want to connect with yourself, this can be debilitating and beyond frustrating, very harmful for us, because we can experience what's called displaced emotions, and then projection ensues. You know, we can start to feel entitled to certain energies that we don't really deserve. We can start to become cruel and vindictive to the people in our lives. Keep in mind, the moon rules Cancer, and this is all about our personal life and our feelings. Okay? So this is about treating people the way you want to be treated. And I think the word for Mars in Cancer is gentleness. Is gentleness. There's a huge spectrum with every placement, guys. And I mean, spectrum of possibilities that can play out. And I'm speaking from a natal Mars in Cancer. I was born with this energy, okay? So on one note, you know, there is somewhat of a need for asceticism. And what I mean by that is not, it's like the opposite of hedonism, not caring about what feels good. You know, moon is feelings, and Mars says, let's get it done despite our feelings. So there is a need for that. You know, comfort can be the silent killer of growth. I think we all know that and have seen it. But at the same time, guys, like a life of pure asceticism leads to a life that's devoid of joy. And is that a life you want to live, really, is the question. I don't want to do all the thinking for you, but I submit it's probably not. Joy makes the world go round. But at the end of the day, you know, if we go straight to the hedonism realm, pursuing pleasure at all costs creates anhedonia, which is the lack of pleasure, which is really fucked up, guys. So it's like, you know, there has to be a middle way between hedonism and asceticism. And that's what I opt for every single time. Indulgence with restraint. Okay? But at the end of the day, man, you got to feel these feelings. You have to empathize with yourself. And it's crazy to think about how many people lack empathy for themselves. It's worth thinking and considering that the future version of yourself is you. So if you can empathize with that person, you can make decisions today that not only benefit you right now, but also the future version of you, which can be very beautiful. This is an inner journey right now, guys. And frankly, with all the water, I could say that a bunch of times. It's an inner journey right now. So in order for you to reach deeper into this world, you got to reach deeper into yourself. Okay? Jupiter is also debilitated. But before I say this, guys, when it comes to Mars in Cancer, it's worth the reminder you do really well to look at your natal moon and your natal Mars and see how those two correlate. Look at their sign placement, look at their house, look at their aspects, look at any angles. Or the rulership as well can be really impactful for you understanding your nature, your mood, and your intentions and your desires and your passions in this life, what motivates you, Moon and Mars respectively, okay? Jupiter and Gemini. This is a trip. Jupiter takes about a year to move through every sign. So this time, you know, this year I should say, Jupiter is going to be going past Gemini into Cancer, and we should get a little retrograde action, a little toggling between the two. Jupiter in Gemini is about learning. If I could just keep it a buck with you, this is about expanding your mind. It's about developing comprehensive intelligence. The expansion in the luck comes from Jupiter, but you may see yourself spread in a whole bunch of, you see what I'm saying? A bunch of multitude of directions, man. So focusing is so important and not getting distracted, but also embracing some versatility, you know, and being able to juggle a little bit. The thing about Gemini, it's the dual sign. So you're going to see that it's kind of difficult to do just one thing at a time or have just one interest right now. So prioritization is so key. You could be interested in a million things, and that could make you like a jack of all trades and master of none. Or you might even major in minor things and get nothing done. So start to rank your desires, start to rank your interests, and then that should help you invest your energy into advancement a little bit more easily. Okay, to the sun, and then I'm gonna leave you guys off. Enjoy this week, because to me it looks very beautiful, it looks very magical. I will say with the sun, there's a lot going on. So where we start this week, we have the sun conjunct to Saturn basically all day, and it's going to cross over. So this one gives a lot of and let me like draw the, I'm gonna see if I can draw the circle around the sun and show you guys what's going on. And bro, I could blame Mercury or society, but like, man, it might be time for me to upgrade to a new computer with a faster processor, because my screen looks like it's lagging. Hopefully it's good on you guys' end. I got an i5. I think it's time for like at least an i7. Good God. This is crazy. Okay. Anyway, so today the sun is conjunct to Saturn. So, you know, huge spectrum here, guys. You know, consider Capricorn is the sign that Saturn rules. So for some people, you may feel more energized and more confident and have a heightened sense of authority, or you could feel the weight of the world on your spirit right now with that sun conjunct to Saturn, you know, and anything in between, frankly. And there's an old alchemical adage, turning lead into gold, and lead is Saturn, gold is sun. And that's a metaphor, not, some would say this actually is about chemistry, and there are literal ways to turn lead into gold with science, and I believe it. But at the same time, this is a metaphor for taking the sorrows of life and the pain and the suffering and the depression and turning it into joy and love and harmony. Saturn, Sun, lead to gold. So there's a new alchemical process starting this week that's going to last all year. And we'll have this around, next March. We'll see it in 2026, the Sun-Saturn conjunction again. And we had our last Sun-Saturn conjunction last February. So it's very cool to see this. But next time we have the Sun-Saturn conjunction, it'll be in the sign of Aries, which is really cool. So anyway, the sun is crossing over a lot of things, man. The sun is going over crossing the shadow realm, if you really think about it. So essentially, there's going to need to be some hard work going on this week. Work on yourself and give life your best effort. It always matters, guys, to give your best effort, even if your best effort doesn't really impress you. So we're going to go day by day. As you see, Wednesday, the sun has crossed over Saturn. And then, it's at 22 Pisces. You got the North Node at 27. So we will get a conjunction, I think, around Sunday over the North Node. And keep in mind, in that time, through this course of the week, we'll have our lunar eclipse kind of in the middle of the week, which is really cool. So guys, there's a lot to be said. So make sure you're subscribed and tune in, because tomorrow I'm going to post that video about the total lunar eclipse. But you're going to see deep release in your life, in a purging. In these eclipses, they have an effect that spans for months and months and months. And eclipses happen in pairs, so I'm just going to keep you aware that after we have the lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, we're later going to have the solar eclipse in the sign of Aries at the end of this month, okay? So that's something to be looking out for. So yeah, basically, the sun is going to continue doing some freaky ass stuff next week too, but my message is just pay attention to the sun, because, come Monday, Tuesday, we'll have the sun conjunct the North Node. So I feel like this week really does reflect and represent a purging, not only a new beginning with that Sun-Saturn. The lunar eclipse is going to pop a bubble for us. This window could bring profound insight and downloads into the future. And then when we end up this week with the sun on the North Node, it's going to be about, where am I going? What's my purpose? What's my destiny? Revelations are going to be happening. This is like the final couple degrees of the zodiac too. So that's in itself pretty significant. And then as we talk about it next week, you'll see there's going to be a lot more action as far as the sun crossing over Neptune, even Venus. And then we'll have extra curricular aspects and angles and ingresses and all types of fun stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love your soul. It's great to see your beautiful face. Take care of yourself. Give life your best effort. You got to live your best life in order to give your best life. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave. Take care. Brush your hair. I'll see you guys in episode 93. Or I might even see you before then on the eclipse breakdown. So take care. I'll see you guys soon.